Okay guys, you sort of know the drill at this point, right? I'm gonna do a quick run through of the problems. So obviously if you need to hit pause or rewind to sort of see what's going on or stay caught up, you can do that. But in order to not make a 45-minute video, right, I'm just gonna sort of run through here. So starting with number 1, right, we're gonna undo subtraction with addition. Okay, so over here we'll have 11 is less than x. When we rewrite that with the variable first, we will get b. Number 2, we are undoing subtracting 4/5. So if we want to undo subtracting 4/5, we will add 4/5. Now, when we add these, I'm assuming a lot of you will probably be using a calculator. So if we do 3/2 plus 4/5, right, we get 2 3/10, which isn't any of the answers that we see here. Oops, these equal signs are typos. Didn't even notice. Okay, but if we change formats, right, we can change it into a decimal, but since I don't see any decimals here, I'm not gonna do that option. If I change it into its improper fraction, right, then I'll see the 23/10. Number 3, we'll undo multiplying by 3/4. We can do this as 2 steps or as 1, right? So we could multiply by 4, which will give us 108. And then divide by 3, or we could do that as one big step and just divide by 3/4 all at once, multiply by 4/3. Number 4, right, subtracting a negative is really adding a positive. So if h is greater than -2, we'll undo division with multiplication. So keep in mind when we cross that out, that negative is still there. So we really have a -1. Divide by -1. Dividing by a negative is a reason to flip the sign. So pay attention, right? Be very careful with the details here. So we want option D. Number 6. Subtract 5. This time I'm just going to go the route of pulling this all at once and dividing by 3/7. Okay, x is less than 7. We will distribute first, so it'll give us a -3y. A -3 times a -6 is a +18. And we'll subtract. Dividing by a negative is a reason to flip the sign. So we'll get A. Number 8, variables are on opposite sides, so we have to get those together with the opposite sign. So this was a +3x, so I'm going to use a -3x. X is less than -2. That's not a reason to flip the sign, right? So we want to keep it as less than. Number 9, we'll cover up until we get past the first inequality, and we'll undo subtracting by adding. And then we'll undo multiplication with division, right, in all 3 places. Pretend we'll solve these both separately. So let's see, x is less than -5, and then we'll solve the second one. All right, so I'll need x is greater than 4 and x is less than -5. Oh, this is a 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, sorry. So we want A. Number 11, right? Subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. Undo multiplication with division. Dividing by a negative is a reason to flip the sign. Number 13, right? This is not inside the fraction, so we have to move the 8 first. We'll move the denominator. So we'll get h is less than, you could have this as negative 15 over 2, negative 7 1/2, negative 7.5. Number 14, right? That is all part of the large fraction, so we need to move the denominator first. We'll undo the addition and subtraction first. The variables are on opposite sides, so we'll use the opposite sign to get them together, right? These cancel, so I still have a negative 13 left. You could choose to subtract the other way. I just kept my y positive. So we'll get negative 4 is greater than y. And if we rewrite that with the variable first, right, we'd say y is less than negative 4. 17, it's a large fraction, so we'll move the denominator first. So we get t is less than or equal to negative 20 over 3. Oh, nope, greater than. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Right, we divided by a negative 3, so we have to flip that inequality sign. Number 18, we'll distribute. Variables are on opposite sides, so I'm going to use the opposite sign. If I rewrite that with the variable first, I'll get x is less than 4. Number 19, the variables are on the same side, so I want to use the same sign. So 4t plus 2t gives me 6t. I'll get t is greater than or equal to 3. We'll distribute first. 9y plus 3. Variables on both sides. Okay, they're on opposite sides, so I'll use the opposite sign. All right, so for my final answer on 20, I'll end up with y is greater than 11 over 4. You could have that as 2 3/4 or 2.75. Number 6, we need our variable first to be able to graph, right? So we need to rewrite that with the variable first. It'll be an open circle shaded to the right. Make sure we have our numbers right on our number line here, right? This one will be a filled in circle shaded to the right. '23, we'll solve these both separately, right? We did this one in class. Okay, so we have 2 and 5. We have filled in at 2. Open at 5. Right, there's no place that those overlap, so this one ends up being a no solution. Number 24, we'll solve them both individually. We divided by a negative, so we have to flip the sign. Okay, so at -4, we'll have an open circle to the left. 5, we'll have a filled in circle to the right. This is compound OR, so we just want anywhere there 1, so we're fine with our answer there. All right, so we should have this. 25 is a compound and, so right, I'm covering up whatever I do to each side, I also have to do over here. Most of you will probably want this as a decimal so that you can find where it's at on the number line. I don't even care if you put -8 on the left and 1.5 over here or 3/2 over here, as long as you have the right order. Okay, so we have open, shaded to the left. Okay, and then this one, right, we have to rewrite to make sure we get our direction correct. So that's gonna be filled in to the right, so in the middle. So we do have an answer on this one. Number 26, we have 3 times a number, increased by 6, right? This has the word is, so that's our inequality symbol, is less than the same number decreased by 12. And then we'll solve. (27) 4 times a number is greater than -48. Keep in mind those terms on the front will not be in your packet, so you'll need to know what symbol to use. Number 28, 4 more than, it doesn't say is more than, so more than just means add. Okay, the quotient, so quotient is division, a number, and 3 is at least, okay, means greater than or equal to 2. Number 29, you should be talking about the fact that to solve this first one, these variables are on the same side, so you will get them together by using the same sign. Whereas on number 29, or on the second one in 29, the variables are on opposite sides, so to get those together, you would have to use the opposite sign. Okay, on number 30, we should be talking about the fact that Eddie should not be dividing by 2 first, but instead he should first be adding 4 in all 3 places. Number 31, right, and is where we are looking for both, or is where we are looking for just one of them to happen. So in the graph, right, compound and, we're looking for where they both happen, which is typically in the middle. Or is where at least one of them is happening, which is typically going out. You could be talking about the fact that compound and can have no solution and ors can have all solutions. Sort of anything in there that's comparing and or contrasting those two things. Number 32 for volume, right? We're doing length times width times height. So we get 3, 6, 4, 5, and our label is cubed. Okay, number 33, we have a total story problem, so we should be doing blank plus blank equals blank, where our total is $15.75. We have 25 cents, and we have $2. Okay, we're looking for the number of days, so anything that's happening per day should get a variable. So it's $2 per day, so that gets a variable. It's 25 cents per day, so that gets a variable. And then $15.75 is a total, so it does not get a variable. So we'll combine like terms. Divide. And we'll get 7 days.